Hello again. Here we are today doing settings. So we're going to run through the basic settings on the Sunsynk 8.8 kilowatt that I have installed here. As you can see, they run from left to right: basics, battery, grid, system mode, advanced, auxiliary load, fault codes, and LIBMS. If I select my basic settings, I've obviously got my time and date on that. I can set it accordingly. My display name, my choice of English, and if I want any other settings there. My reset, this is all code locked, so you will need a password to get in here if need be. Battery setup, quite simple. You select your battery type. Obviously I have a lithium in place and it's activated. I've put in my battery capacity, charge amps and discharge amps. This is important as it lets your inverter know what it has to deal with. My CAN bus is selected and protocol 0 to make sure it knows what exactly battery is. A back charge at the moment, this is grid charge, so my grid charge and grid signal are activated, and at 50 amps I'm charging. If I had generator input, I would select generator charge as well and accordingly charge the amperage there. My float voltage, my absorption voltage and equalization have all been adjusted according to the battery type that I am using. My shutdown in place, these are the standard settings that the inverter comes with and something we set with the current battery in place anyway, so we don't change anything. If I go through to grid, obviously this is self-explanatory: your grid type, your grid frequencies, your high and low voltages, and which frequency at which you run. You can also set up your inverter here to not run as high via here, so you can lower the wattage if need be. Grid setup 1, obviously we don't really fiddle with any of these. This is all pre-designated by the factory. System mode. In system mode, we make sure we can use the timer, so you can allocate times where and when you need, as you need them. Your zero export is in place if you cannot export, a limit to load, and 0 watts on the zero export. I also limit everything to priority load, so as not to have any issues. Your advanced settings, this is if you have obviously others, so your max cell power, which is your solar panels, multi-inverter. This is important. As you can see, this is set up to master and A phase. If you have a parallel inverter, you select parallel, make sure that the dip switches in the parallel inverter are in place for it to know. Your wind turbine, this is all set if you have a wind turbine in place. My fault codes, as you can see, I have had some fault codes, and the reason for this are all F56. The F56 fault code will come into play if I disconnect the battery. I have disconnected the battery a few times, hence why it shows the fault. This is my LIBMS, and showing that I have direct communications with the current battery in place. As you can see, the battery voltage, battery current, battery temperature, and state of charge are all shown on the left, and my battery charge voltage, charge current limit, discharge current limit are set on the right. Those are prerequisites from the BMS themselves. Alright, those are the basics of the inverter settings, and great, we'll see you next time.